Danielle back, Danielle's Homemade Products. It's been kind of a crazy busy day. Right now I have 2 trays of kiwi going on the dehydrator. And then the other 8 trays are apple slices. The majority of them I did sprinkle some cinnamon sugar on the top of them. And then I got to like the last couple of trays and I had run out of the cinnamon sugar and I didn't want to mix up more just to, you know, do 2 trays. So the last 2 trays are just plain apple slices. And so I've got kiwi and apple slices going right now. Mind my clutter on the counter. This is a jar of mushrooms, which I will later put in my food processor to make mushroom powder. These ones were going yesterday. I finished up last night. And then this is a pretty jar of strawberries that I dehydrated. So it's been kind of a dehydrating kind of a time right now in the last 2 days. Has been filled with kind of all kinds of dehydrating. So later on this afternoon I'll put these. The last time I made the mushroom powder, I made it in, I dehydrated it in the same dehydrator obviously. And then I took it and put it in my coffee grinder, which I don't actually use for coffee, I use for things like this. But I don't have the coffee grinder here. It's at my house and I'm at Nana's. So I'm going to try to improvise and see if I can use my food processor to crumble them up enough that they would still be pulverized into powder. So we'll see how it works. But I will let you guys know that. Thought I'd just share because like I said, I haven't made any soaps. I've been dehydrating like mad crazy. And the kiwis are looking pretty good. They haven't been on here for very long. You're talking maybe 2 hours or so, maybe a little more, maybe 3. But that's what we've been doing here at this house, is dehydrating like crazy. Like I said, some of the apple slices have more cinnamon sugar than others, but the kiwi I sliced up with a knife after I went around the kiwi itself with a spoon. Strawberries, I used an egg slicer to slice them. I got lazy, and these I purchased already cleaned and sliced, so I didn't have to do anything but put them on the trays. And then my apple slices, I actually used my mandolin slicer after I cored them. I cored them out, got all the seeds out, and then I used my mandolin slicer to slice them all. Put them in water with some lemon juice so they wouldn't brown. And then once I had them laid out on the tray, I sprinkled it with cinnamon sugar. So that's what's going on so far today. I'll let you know how, I'll bring it back, I should say, when the mushroom powder, when I'm working on that. I'm ready to process this. Messy counter I gotta clean off, but I'm getting ready to process those mushrooms, dehydrated mushrooms, in my food processor, and there's more than I thought there was going to be. I mean, I do have, mind you, I do have a full quart-sized jar of them, but still I wasn't expecting it to fill my food processor up that much. So we're going to give it a whirl, see how it does. I'm just going to pulse it so that I don't kill your eardrums. It may not make it as fine as my coffee grinder is, but that would still, I mean, it should still be okay to use. I'm going to pause you and let this run for a minute so I don't kill your ears. I'll be right back. Well, it seems to have worked pretty well. You can see a lot of powdery residue on it. And I don't have you guys on my stand, so I may have to pause this again to get the powder all out. That's what it looks like so far. I'm trying to let the dust settle for a minute before I open it up. It's all a mess. I had to wipe it up and clean it up, but I started with this jar and got this jar full of powder. There is still some, so I can get it to focus. Let's try this. Okay, sorry. There are still some pieces of mushroom. It didn't completely pulverize all of it into a powder. But honestly, what this is planned on used for is to add to like a soup or, you know, something like that to give it a little bit of mushroom flavor without chunks of mushrooms in it. Because me personally, I don't mind the flavor of mushrooms, but I certainly I don't tolerate the texture of them very well. So This will allow like somebody in the family who likes mushrooms to still have their mushroom flavor while not grossing out the members of the family that cannot tolerate the texture of mushrooms. So there's that. So again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, share, like, comment below what you would use your mushroom powder in. See you soon.